Your favorite jeans are the ones falling apart. Faded knees, frayed hems, that perfect worn-in softness. You love them because they're damaged, not despite it. Every other fabric in your closet gets worse with time, but denim gets better, more comfortable, more personal. The fading patterns tell the story of how you move, where you bend, how you sit, what you carry in your pockets. You've probably kept the same pair of jeans for 10 years while replacing shirts every season. Why does denim improve through destruction? How does indigo dye create those signature fades? And what's the actual difference between $20 jeans and $300 jeans that look identical on the rack? Let's explore the process.
Maybe the sexiness of a woman wearing jeans is the idea of playing with masculinity and femininity.
If you put an incredible beauty like Marilyn Monroe in like Levi's and some rugged look, it just shows how beautiful and feminine and sexy they are.
You have James Dean and you have everybody in the 50s is like, man, wearing jeans means you're cool and you're a rebel.
Denim starts as cotton, but not just any cotton weave. It uses twill construction, diagonal ribs you can see and feel. Here's what makes it different. Warp threads running lengthwise are dyed indigo blue. Weft threads running crosswise stay natural white. When woven in diagonal pattern, you see mostly blue outside with white peeking through inside. This two-tone construction is why denim fades the way it does. You probably think indigo penetrates deep into cotton fibers. Everyone does. But indigo sits on the surface. Unlike other dyes that chemically bond to fibers, indigo just coats them. When you wear jeans, friction rubs away surface indigo, exposing white cotton underneath. Every fade, every whisker line, every honeycombed crease is white cotton showing through where blue wore away. This is why denim tells stories. Your jeans fade at the knees because you bend there thousands of times. Behind the knees, honeycombs form from sitting. Whiskers radiate from your front pockets because fabric bunches when you stand. The wear pattern is literally a map of your movement. But indigo dye itself is strange chemistry. Natural indigo comes from plant leaves, but it's not blue when extracted. The dye starts yellow-green in the vat, only turns blue when exposed to oxygen. Cotton threads get dipped in indigo vat, where they're yellow, then pulled out into air, where they turn blue in seconds. Indigo molecules oxidize. They grab oxygen atoms and restructure into blue form. Now here's where it gets interesting. Traditional Japanese denim uses natural indigo and gets dipped 12 to 16 times. Each dip adds another thin layer. This builds depth. The blue has dimension, subtle variations. Premium jeans charging $300? They're using multi-dip natural indigo. Cheap jeans use synthetic indigo dipped once or twice. The blue is flat, uniform. It fades to boring gray instead of electric blue-white contrast. You weren't paying for brand name. You were paying for chemistry that takes 16 cycles instead of 2. Levi Strauss gets credit for inventing jeans, but he didn't invent denim. The fabric came from Nimes, France. Denims became denim in English. What Strauss actually invented in 1873 was rivets. Those copper rivets at stress points, pocket corners and fly, prevented tears in workwear for gold miners. Before rivets, pockets ripped off when miners stuffed them with ore samples. Strauss turned fragile workwear into indestructible uniform. But here's the kicker. Modern, distressed jeans deliberately destroy what Strauss made indestructible. Factories use sandblasting, lasers, pumice stones, ozone chambers to create artificial wear patterns. They're engineering damage that would take 5 years to earn through actual wear. You've probably bought pre-distressed jeans thinking they'd feel broken in immediately. But artificial distressing only affects surface. The fabric itself is still stiff. Real wear patterns reflect your body's mechanics. Factory distressing follows generic templates. Same whiskers on every pair. Premium raw denim fans refuse to wash jeans for 6 months, specifically to develop personal wear patterns before the first wash sets them. They're treating denim like a record of lived experience, not just clothing. The final detail that determines quality: selvage edges. Old shuttle looms weave denim in narrow widths with self-finished edges. The selvedge that won't unravel. You've seen that red or white line on the inside cuff when people roll up jeans. That's selvedge, proof the denim came from traditional narrow looms instead of modern wide looms that need cut edges. Why does this matter? Shuttle looms create tighter, denser fabric. The weave has more tension, more structure. It softens while maintaining form. Modern wide loom denim gets floppy with wear. Selvedge denim gets supple while staying sturdy. You've wondered why new jeans never feel like your favorite old pair. Part of it is wear, but part is the weaving method. Your 10-year-old jeans might be selvage denim from shuttle looms. Your new ones are probably wide loom denim that will never develop the same character no matter how long you wear them. Washing inside out actually matters too. It reduces friction on the indigo surface, slowing fade on the outside while letting the inside soften normally. You weren't being precious about laundry. You were managing surface chemistry. So, those jeans you refuse to throw away aren't just worn clothing. They're cotton woven in diagonal twill, dyed with indigo that sits on the surface, faded through friction into patterns that map your exact movement, possibly made on shuttle looms that no longer exist. Every fade line is chemistry and physics collaborating with your body's geometry. You're not being sentimental keeping old jeans. You're honoring material that improved through the same wear that destroys everything else in your closet. And maybe you'll stop buying pre-distressed jeans because you're someone who understands that real character can't be faked in a factory. That's the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there's something you'd like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.